Hey folks, welcome to another narrated duel, except for this time I'm not narrating every turn. We're trying something different. I'm playing against Frederick, and we've both decided to record sort of checkpoints about every 10 turns or so. We hope that this will make it easier or slash more fun to watch without necessarily having to watch every turn, but still being able to sort of see the game progression as it goes. We're playing on a large inland sea map with a new wide aspect ratio. I picked Persia with a builder start, and it looks like he picked Hatti. I haven't met his leader yet, so I don't know what leader he picked. My goal right now is to go, as you can see, Hunter, Cleric, and Statesman, and sort of try to get some early tech advantage, get some scholars pumping. It is a pretty large map, and I'm on the western side of it here. So he's far, far to the east, so I'm going to have some time to tech up. He is doing some sort of Hatti strategy that I'm not aware of. Presumably he's going to chop and longbow rush me or something. We will find out. Hatti does have great base civics production. Right now, the game, I'm really focusing on getting some settlers out. I have this free city site that I'd like to settle with that settler. I'm actually going to rush that out. I've been trying out rushing with civics instead of getting an early monotheism and early state religion. I'm trying to rush with civics, especially settlers, which I think gets you quite a lot of speed advantage. Although there, I don't know that I necessarily need to because I cannot build actually any military units. So yeah, so maybe we'll hold off there. Apart from the slinger, which I don't want to build because of the stone cost. Probably going to clear these barbarians and take out those Numidians. So we'll hard build that for now. Eventually, we'll go to war with the Vandals. Generally, I want to take out one tribe at a time. The Numidians are here, and my troops are up there. So yeah, I think here, just need to think about what I want to found. This might be a good statesman site. We found this statesman site. Probably would have actually been better to found this there. On retrospect, forgot about this marble when I settled. So yeah, I mean, interesting situation here in this first game. These first 11 turns, haven't met him yet. So we've met the Vandals and apparently have not yet officially met the Numidians. Hopefully we will soon. We don't see them on the list here. Married one of the options available. Went builder to get that start. I really like the builder worker reduction. So far so good. Pretty chill start here at the beginning. I did rush out one settler to get it out earlier. So might be worth rushing out another one and then building maybe another worker. Actually, we'll do that. So yeah, we'll check in about another 10 turns or so. All right.
Hi, Frederik here with a situation report from turn 10 of our most recent duel with alcaras. So I took a bit of a gamble last turn on a event when the heir was born, and we got lucky and got blessed. Could have also turned out to be cursed or divine. But anyway. The map settings are the usual for the most part. You can check them out here. What's new is that as of the recent patch, the city spacing is not as close for duels as it was before, as well as the map shape is narrow, so it's a very narrow band, so we're further away horizontally on a narrow band. Anyway, this was the start location, and I chose Hatti. As you can see, the second crop resource was out of range, so I chose a landowner start was able to buy this in the first few turns. We saw a marble in a bit of a distance, and I was hoping and got a close enough city site for patrons for future inquiry pump. Not much in terms of growth resources, so this will mostly be funded by or powered by stonecutters and scribes instead of the also often used poets. But that's a plan for the future. Probably founding writers in the back here because there's no connection, although the river might circle around, but it's not directly at the city, so for the instant connection the riders are better. We started with the kind of usual schema rolled into romantic, so we're hoping for more kits. If we don't get more kits, we can always adopt through the adopt child mission from the schema. Got a bit lucky with my initial characters from the Landowners. I got a robust builder to build the improvements faster. Robust gave me an instant extra order. Unfortunately, he became foolish, but it's not the biggest of deal, but it's a bit of a science loss. We also got a hero, which was quite nice for our military endeavors against the initial barbarians. It's proud, so a bit of a defense malus here, but enough offense to make up for it, and the healing is always nice. In terms of mid-game plans, we are looking, instead of going for portcullis, the current plan is to go for military drill and sovereignty with constitution to power our science via officers and urban specialists in general. Currently going for divination because alcaras already founded his religion, so I'm trying to make sure I get mine down before he tries anything cute and to get all the religions on his side. Anyway, he started unsurprisingly as Persia, or kind of surprising because there's no absolutely no pasture resources in the beginning, but unsurprising because he likes Persia. So he founded Clerics, so we instantly knew where he is, and by the power of nested tooltips we also know that he has a builder leader, so he's looking to expand very fast and build lots of workers and maybe rush a wonder, which there's no permits available, but we'll have to see. He can get the cigarette since he already has a holy city, which is also a fairly strong wonder in my opinion. Anyway, that's it for the initial assessment, and see you hopefully later in about 10 turns.
Right, so we're back here with the check-in at turn 20, just showing off sort of where we are. Tech-wise, currently getting husbandry, so I can get that sweet, sweet order bonus from Persia. I also picked up monotheism as a first law before getting the state religion, so that I can build garrisons to get some more orders, because I'm pretty badly order constrained. Cleared this northern spot. I'm building some warriors here as well, and I'm looking to expand. Probably going to declare war on the Numidians next, since most of my troops are here. Building a settler here. Definitely want to get some more settlers going. Basically stopped scouting because I don't have any orders right now. I did manage to find a merchant who is tutoring, and I think I actually forgot to tutor. But that's okay. It might be just because I'm doing this on my opponent's turn, and the tutoring has just completed. We'll see. Yeah, very, very order constrained. Going to build some garrisons to help fix that a little bit. Getting some early Jewish monasteries up as well, so to get that sweet, sweet +4 tech bonus from monasteries. Otherwise, the game seems to be going well. Almost done with my kill ambition. Going to come back and bring this to heal. Getting those warriors out. Might kill that unit. Might go over the Numidians. We'll see. Really want to get vision on our friends at some point, but I want to also finish scouting the map so I can figure out where to settle my cities. All right, we'll be back in about 10 turns or so.
And here we are with the turn 20 situation report from the Duel versus alcaras. Quick little note from the previous update, or something which I forgot from the previous update. We got the Great Minister from the patrons, got a pretty good set of stats, basically the highest charisma that was possible. And we married the Great Minister, so he provides a Good bunch of civics currently. We also got another kit. Unfortunately, the righteous trade that he picked up, which isn't that good of a trade, but also isn't good for trade inheritance, and this in turn got our heir to pick up intolerant. But fortunately, there's the Hatti education event that allows us to pick up eloquent and get rid of intolerant again. Unfortunately, I took another risk, and this time I got a big hit. Basically an influence mission got both my leader and the oligarch of the riders wounded, and the rider oligarch got scarred, but my leader got doomed, so we are in for a quick change in succession. But since we didn't even finish one ambition, we're not losing much in terms of legitimacy, but we're losing a lot of schema orders. Since the last time we found a bunch of tribes, there's some Gauls and Numidians on the way towards Alcaras, which we almost reached, and then there's some Scythians right down here. So we're about to clear our next camp here. We have 2 settlers on the way that are about to finish, to settle the next 2 sites, and then we're looking to grab some additional military units to clear some camps down here. We got our first shrine down and have paganism founded. We're looking to build another shrine down here, getting some extra training for our rider seat, or rather we're expanding borders towards the north, hoping to get some salt into the rider city to get some extra culture. Also for culture, we are using the literature from the patrons to boost our culture in the rider cities, hoping to get this up to strong. So eventually building our tier 2 unique units, which in case of the Hatti are 3-man chariots. Anyway, we started building some quarries, also for ambition, but also in general to get stone up, since all the planned barracks and maybe even a wonder will require lots of stone. We got our first law up, which is vassalage, which is also a bit out of the norm, since vassalage is not that strong at this point. It scales with the amount of units and we don't have that many yet. But since we're looking to get to sovereignty eventually, this is on the way, and we had divination already. Another reason I don't like to pick up aristocracy early is since this adds the border boost into the research rotation. It is something that is usually stronger later when you have more cities founded. So we'll see if I'll pick that up or not, depending on which tiles get added to the cities. Then we're on the way to husbandry. We are close to any extra military unit, but we probably don't need any soon, since the distance is quite long to Alcaras. And we can deal with the tribes and barbarians with our warriors for now. And that should conclude this situation report. See you in 10 turns, or hear you in 10 turns rather.
Turn 30. So we've made some progress. We've settled that northern city. We've got some Numidians attacking over here. Got a tribal raid coming over here. We're still incredibly order constrained. We missed tutoring our kid because we've been so order constrained. We did get one tutor in this turn. Trying to go clear those Numidians. We'll have to deal with the Vandals later. Trying to get spoked wheels so I can build some chariots out here. I had like a volcano event that blew stuff up here. Lost one of my slingers to Numidian that attacked, but we cleared that city. So yeah, lots of workers idling around trying to get every single pasture I can, just to use the Persia order bonus. I did get my religion founded, so I've got more orders there. Monotheism, it has not really spread that much, just 3 cities right now, so I need to get, whenever I have some spare orders, this disciple needs to come north, but to get a monastery up there, but yeah, no spare orders right now. This garrison will let me grab that ore in that city, and this city's building some apprentice officers, so it should be pretty good. Did opt for that miner, which unfortunately got pillaged by that bad event. Probably found this city here. Ended up going Statesmen here just because, yeah, we're also influencing the hunters because they're unhappy because they have the fewest cities. There's not very many hunter cities right now. Perhaps one down here. This looks like might be a nice Statesman city. There's some food, some game over here, so maybe some hunter cities. Don't see that many horses. One here. This might be a hunter city. So yeah, well, we'll see. We're playing it out. Wonder-wise, Frederick did get to manage the Great Ziggurat, so sad to have missed out on that one. Would like to have grabbed it. Might be worth trying to get the Apadana. I don't know that I can afford it right now. I'm pretty sure I can't. Yeah, it's way too expensive. 900 stone. And I also don't have the 6 for it at all. Would like to get legalism as well to improve my spread of religion. But yeah, overall pretty good. We're somewhat okay. I feel better with the stone economy going on right now. Need to get some iron up and running as well, and always need to be chopping as well. I think I'm gonna, tech tree wise, gonna go towards citizenship and stirrups actually. Would also like to get, I opted for labor force, or opted for spoked wheel over labor force. I'm not sure whether that's the right call, just because maybe navigation for those orders would have been better. But I feel like I need chariots to deal with these barbarians in this raid. This warrior hopefully will be enough to hold it off. And getting some chariots built out of here might be good. Might be worth thinking about whether actually I should go labor force into navigation and then maybe return to chariot. We do have mill drill. We're making progress on that barracks and ranges. We got 2 here. We need to at some point to start some down here. Just haven't had a chance. So yeah, just super order constrained. Trying to be very very prudential in terms of where I use my orders. Overall, though, shaping up to be a pretty interesting game. It is a very big map. So I think this map is a little larger than Frederick and I expected. So we'll see how things go there. But see you back again in 10 turns or so. And hopefully we'll have made some more progress.
Another 10 turns, another situation report. We managed to grab another 2 cities, which is actually kind of amazing that I managed to do that with just the starting warrior. But that's because we got the really strong hero with our initial character, and with him being proud and the combat strength managed to cut through quite a few barbarian units. We also got the border boost card research, which got us a few border extensions up here. Grabbed the horses down here. The city got the elephants in game on this side. The rider seat managed to go up to the salt, which is great because the riders have salt as their specific resource, which makes this extra good. And also more culture to get to strong culture in a timely fashion. Also very important, the border boost to reveal the ore and the horses, making it apparent that this city site is very very important for my next rider city, because previously there were very little horses actually that were accessible. Like these got only added because of the border boost, they were not reachable, but also now they are in the Patron capital, which doesn't want to produce units, it will be producing inquiries later on. We can maybe pass these horses to the other cities. We are border tile swap. We are tile swapping. These horses are basically not reachable from any city sides, and there's no horses here. So luckily we now have at least 2 good city sites for our unique unit. Another thing that dawned on me in the last few turns is just how big the map really is and how big the distances are. So just looking at this, it's like a 100 tile wide map with like 60 tiles of lake. It'll be really long until we get any contact, so this will be a economic race for quite a while, which makes it extremely good that I got these 2 cities up early. I know that he got to 5 victory points very early enough that this could only mean he had 2 developing culture cities very early, which is unsurprising because there's quite a lot of cultural resources around for harvesting, and he gets 50% extra from that as Persia. But he only got the 6 victory point very recently, so we know he's only on 4 cities. So I'm quite ahead in the expansion department, and I already have my next settler lined up to grab this city. We also got our first 2 shrines down. The acolyte here is already finished. And we got the Shrine of War in the Drydock seat and pumping out units. We also got the cigarette on the way. I would have kind of liked to wait for the Apadana, but culture will take a while. I'm quite behind on culture, which is also a concern, especially regarding our rider cities. But we got the cigarette on the way, and we'll be boosting the culture on my inquiry city, which is also important because higher inquiries are better. Military drill on the way, so once the cigarette finishes, we are poised to start building lots and lots of barracks, which get discounted by the cigarette, and then pump out lots of officers for science. Fortunately, we still didn't get any cognomen, so the orders are quite tighter currently, since I don't have any order resources online. We're going to start getting these elephant camps built and upgraded, which is easy in a landowner city. And the camels down here are also coming up. Anyway, that's it for now. See you later.
We're back on turn 40 and recording another situation update here. So we just had a choice of going to war with the Vandals for 6 legitimacy or making peace with them for -4. So I chose war because I feel like I'm ready to attack the Vandals. Still very order constrained. Running councils in these 2 cities to try to get to 400 civics to get navigation so I can get serfdom for 5 extra precious orders. Continuing to build pastures here. I'm going to try to pull this Temple of Solomon disciple up here to build a monastery to grab those. We're going to found that city there as well. In general, just trying to influence families. Really need the statesmen to convert to my religion to make them happy. That will solve a lot of problems. We've got some raids coming in here. We just cleared a raid here. I think this city has flipped over to Judaism, so it's very much worth settling. I have an extra settler here that will want to move down there, since that settler will go north and this settler's going here. I have not yet met my opponent because I have not had a chance to scout. I had a couple of moves to scout. This decree is kind of saving my butt in terms of orders, although it's very light on orders there. just 3 orders, but it helps. I don't even know if it's really worth it. It used to be 6, but every 3, even 3 orders helps right now, every 4 years. There's really nothing else I can do with that city right now. So yeah, that's the current state. My opponent is way over here. Looks like he finished the Great Sig there. He's founded Zoroastrianism over here, very far away. Not something I'm going to be concerning myself with for a while. Will want to eventually get a scout going to the north and the south, but that is going to be a ways away and require me to have far more orders than I have at the moment. We'll probably want to, at some point, maybe build a farmer specialist here to try to get towards those horses, so I can build troops out of this city. The capital does have an apprentice officer, yeah, and an apprentice monk. Need to really figure out what I'm doing with this capital. I don't feel like, since it doesn't have access to horses, it's going to have much production. So might want to build basically something towards this here. Maybe build that farmer specialist in order to expand borders. I do also have a builder right now, so I can expand borders with urban, but that's very stone intensive and order intensive, and it doesn't really get me anything economically, so it doesn't make sense. We'll be holding these guys here with that one guy. This chariot will come here south and attack, trying to build a road to connect things a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know where the remaining Numidian sites are. And I think I see a bunch of the Vandal sites here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I see all the Vandals right now. Or maybe not, there might be more, but the Numidians are down here. Probably up here somewhere. I don't know. We might need to move troops up there. So all in all, feeling pretty good. Really leaning hard on Persia's orders. I think that one is really critical here. It's letting me get a bunch of orders thanks to largely pastures, which are giving me orders. This camp, this pasture is going to be another half order. So all these little half orders, the order for the horses, all this adds up. If I can expand to get those horses, that'll be another order. Really trying to get navigation right now for those 5 additional orders. That's why I'm running council here to get some additional orders to get to those 400 civics as quickly as I can. Yeah, that's pretty much it where we are right now. And probably going to found, not sure what I'm going to found here. Maybe Statesmen for another order city. Realistically, that's a possibility. Hunters might be an option if there's some coastal food. We'll see. We'll think about that one. All right, we'll check in another 10 turns or so.
And we've reached turn 40 in this duel of Alcaras versus Frederik. And we have another situation report. Things have gone a bit worse. We've got incoming raids that have pillaged some of my lands. Especially the shrine here was very bad, since we're building a upgrade to the Acolyte in there. But we are managing to fight them off. Slowly but surely. The north is still calm, but we don't expect that to last. We can see some gold camps up in the north that will sooner or later also send raids. In the northwest there's mostly barbarians, so we might be safe for now here. They're still only sending strength 4 units, so our warriors will do okay for now, but we need to look into getting some better units. That will have to come after we finish navigation though, which I crucially neglected by going for aristocracy. I think there was a mistake. I'm still hurting very much in orders and should have got navigation up sooner for the 5 orders from serfdom. But hindsight is 2020. In the meantime, we finished the cigarette. I could have actually started the Apadana that Alcaraz is now working towards, but that would have postponed any development in our patron seat, and I need to get some other things started, the garrison especially, to get a position for my king. Another problem that has arisen is that we founded Zoroastrianism, which in itself is good, but unfortunately we got a zealot to take over as head of religion, which with my scholar leader is very problematic in terms of opinion. We all got an influence mission in this turn, so we're at 0 again, but together with the bad opinion here and the bad opinion we already had for the landowners, we are sitting in the negatives again. We're even forced to assign a few luxuries to them to not get below 100 in the last few turns, which isn't ideal. That thought literature should have gone into Kadesh, which we'll have to wait for now. Fortunately, the holy city became one that has some growth resources, so we can build some disciples here fairly quickly. One is almost done. Then we'll probably improve the trapper here for some border expansion and additional growth, then finish the settler and build another disciple, getting up the holy side, which we have the resources for both in the civics and in stone, and then try to get the first 2 theologies online to increase the spread chance. Looking to enact legalism for the civics from monasteries, hoping to eventually boost our inquiry pump, and revelation for the spread chance, and eventually later the increased orders from temples. Unfortunately, the original plan for that city was to build the hunting shrine there for the ranged units promotion, get some barracks and officers running, and build slingers that we want to later upgrade into archers or even longbows, depending on how our tech path is going to work out. But that will have to be postponed. We do need to get the religion going. So as far as tech goes, finishing up navigation, and then we're looking to unlock another unit. Not quite sure. Phalanx would be good because we have some horse tribes around. The Scythians are in the south. We have some Numidians on the other side of the map. So spears would be good. Could also go for chariots, unlocking the chancellor position and eventually grabbing portcullis. Or we forego both of those and grab rhetoric, which would be our 4th law after navigation, aristocracy, and labor force. And then go for our unique unit, but that will of course be delayed a bit more than the other units, because first we can only build those in our rider cities, and also we need to build the stronghold first, which delays the troop production by a few more turns. But since we got developing culture here, and once we have a garrison in there, we can use some judges to rush some officers in here to speed up production, so this might be the target. It also has the advantage of unlocking forums, which we can then build in our patron seat to further boost our civics. Already building or pumping out 20 civics, and that's before we've put our eloquent leader in there, which has 4 charisma so far and getting 2 civics per culture level. Usually I try to build infrastructure before reaching strong culture and only start inquiries after reaching strong culture or shortly beforehand, since the conversion rate goes up for the tier 3 inquiries. But with him having clerics and being ahead in science from both getting monotheism as well as monastery and early monks, we might need to look into building some early inquiries here just to get us going. We're getting a settler out here, but we're not actually close to clearing another city side. Looking to clear either this or this side. This Scythian camp has sent some raiders, so there shouldn't be too many troops. On the other hand, this is probably going to be a rider city, and this could be a landowner city, and I'm looking to found more landowner cities because the landowners really don't like being behind in cities for their opinion, and they are already in the negative, so putting them further behind is not really a good idea. Anyway, this should be it for turn 40. See you in another 10 turns.
Turn 50. All right, so what's new? We've got some Numidian raiders coming in from somewhere. Founded a bunch more cities. We are clearing out the Vandals to the south here. Doing pretty well, I'd say. We're a little better in our order situation, 41 orders turn, largely thanks to serfdom and monotheism. We did end up founding Persian paganism here, just to get some more civics out of this city. I'm going to try to get a monastery up there. Going for citizenship next to try to even get more civics income. Still very order constrained, but it feels like we're able to at least start clearing out some of these Vandals and settling the south. We'll probably need to send some troops north to deal with the Numidians. Probably send our spearmen to the north. Wouldn't hurt. Send spearmen north. Maybe once we settle these sites, we'll probably go back to decree, although 300 decree doesn't feel worth right now. I'd rather get that city up and running. All in all, feeling pretty good. Orders are really going up. So since turn 40, we're at 23, now we're at 41. So we're really solving our order problem, which is really helping our umpire expand. We are at 8 cities. He's at 6. And we are stronger and better tech from him, although part of that is from starting with clerics. We still don't have vision. We are getting some scouts built here. Here we just finished one, and then we're going to have the south scout. So I'm going to have that scout go north, this scout goes south probably, and then this other scout just keep clearing out the Vandals and seeing where to settle. We got 2 more settlers on the way. Economy's doing all right. I think the biggest thing right now is we need iron and wood as well, although I don't really need that much wood, so I think I'm just going to use money for wood. Got a lot of stone, so we could consider building a wonder in this city, especially once we go for culture. We should consider probably Acropolis is actually really strong. It gives you a lot of orders. That's probably going to be the biggest one. So yeah, I think I will try to get Acropolis in Parsa in 2 turns. So we'll think about where to build that Acropolis. And that way we can also get rhetoric tech-wise. Once we get Acropolis locked in, we can get forums everywhere for even more orders. So yeah, feeling pretty good about this situation. Just trying to really get a great order economy going and ride that to victory. Got 4 spears. We got a bunch of chariots. Sort of fighting off these Vandals. Probably want to send some of these guys north actually to deal with that. We're pumping out chariots here every 3 years or so, which is really helping a lot. Got this city pretty well online with those double apprentice officers. Once we get a judge, perhaps our leader, we need to figure out how we want to handle inheritance. We're still blessed, living strong at 67, but I anticipate by the next check-in on turn 60, we'll have a new ruler. Question really is whether we want to imprison him and have him become the ruler. Might be an option. He is a little younger, and Orator will even give us even more orders. So that might be an option. So, although you can make a case for judge, particularly for hold court. So that is also an option. Hold court will get us a lot of civics, which will help as well. And what we could do is have him inherit after that guy dies. We'll see what tech he gets or what archetype he gets. But all in all, feeling pretty good. Just super order constrained. Military fighting is causing that, but I think once that military gets settled, once we clear out these Vandals, deal with this raid up to the north, we should be actually pretty straightforward. We got a lot of workers working, and I think Acropolis will really seal some of the very, very nice text that we have available. And Parsa in 2 years is going to be great there. All right, so see you in about 10 turns or so.
And we're halfway to the 100 turn mark. And here we are with another situation report. Things have gone in some ways from bad to worse, because I actually moved my scout again and got sight of alcaras, even if it's just one tile. It's enough to actually meet him, and I have to assume that he saw my scout as well, since he wasn't in a forest. And I realized that we are both behind in military as well as behind in cities. He's on 8 cities already, and we found that out about 8 turns ago, while we are still on 6 cities right now. On the upside, he's only learned and not erudite, so we may actually be on the way to catching up in science, hopefully, because if we are behind there as well, things are really looking grim. We've also managed to fend off most of the raids into our territory and actually starting to push back. Cleared up one city side, ready to settle next turn. Here, force of warriors ready to clear the next side, with the settler also ready. We are defending up here. It's a bit dicey, but once the second warrior comes out, we should handle this fine as well. The raiders kind of prevent us on building a few important improvements here, but we should get this handled fairly soon. We also got our first judge into place in Kanash and started pumping out officers. It lines up fairly well, finishing the first elder officer in the first barracks. The next barracks finishes to start here, and then we can, the worker moves on once we finish sovereignty. We have the civics to enact constitution next turn, finishing our next ambition, where we are also kind of behind. But the worker can directly move on to build the stronghold, and once the stronghold is done, we should have 2 elder officers done and start pumping out the, not the 3-man chariots, but the heavy chariots, the tier 1 of our unique unit. I also kind of missed that we need developing culture for our holy site, to build our holy site. So we used the first the first disciple to enact legalism. He also enacted legalism on the same turn for his religion, and he has his holy site done. So we are building the next disciple, and 5 turns after the disciple is done, we should be able to build our own holy site, as long as we have the civics. But once we finish sovereignty, there's also the civics boost card on the table, so we should have enough civics easily by then. We also kind of mismanaged our resources a bit. We are way up on stone, even more so than we would need for the Acropolis, so we kind of overbuilt quarries in the beginning. The high food count is just a matter of building our growth resources, so that's not really mismanagement. And we built 1 extra farm here, but that's not too bad of a deal, or big of a deal. We will need lots of food for our unique units, so this will come in handy. And also all the officers that we're going to build are also going to cost food, so we'll be using this up even if we aren't selling too much of it. But we will probably be selling some, as the rushes with the judge will also cost a considerable amount. As far as further science plans go, we probably need to pick up forestry next, since our unique unit also costs a lot of wood. So we need to get some lumber mills in place, and then it kind of depends. I also need to make it a priority to get my scout down and towards him, or maybe move this in. Also, it's a bit problematic since there's not many forests for me to move into. We know he didn't grab these sites, so with 8 cities in place, or yes, with 8 cities in place, he probably expanded along the southern coast. Since he's most likely founded hunters, we know he founded Statesmen. This is the Statesman city. We can see that this is the Statesman city, both by the blue dots on the borders as well as then as the tooltips tells us this. We know he founded Clerics, and he's certainly founded hunters since that's usually the superior family, because it gives a significant economic boost to him, and the military trade is a bit better on the defensive. The Sentinel works in his borders, so when he's on the defensive it's stronger. On the offensive, Sentinel is usually not working, or not easy to make work since you don't have national territory. You can make use of flanking offensively, but it's also not always possible, but doable. Anyway, this should be it for right now, and we'll see you again in another 10 turns.
All right, we're back on turn 60. We have a new ruler. Our queen died at age 75, so she made it quite a long way. Sorry, age 76. Got the Cognomen the Great. We'll see how long this new ruler lasts. I presume we're going to imprison his brother and have the son, his nephew, inherit, just because, yeah, there's not too many other things. He does have a bastard son who's a hero that I don't really want to legitimize because it'll make everyone very angry. We've continued expanding. We're fighting off some raiders here. We're killing the Vandals. We're probably going to roll north after this. Scouting a little bit. Still very, very tight on orders. Trying to get to 5 Elder Specialists. Need to scout the map. So we're going to send scouts around here shortly. Settlers should be out soon here. This one going for there or there. Probably, yeah, there, because that one, we have 2 more settlers there. And then settler for here. And we have a couple more sites that we need to settle. Yeah, so we are pretty well set. Definitely took advantage of the builder ruler to get a lot of workers out. We have 12 worker units with a couple more on the way that were in progress, I think, when we finished our reign last time. So yeah, we've got 4 laws. Frederik has 5. Epics, freedom, vassalage, constitution, serfdom. We have slavery, serfdom, monotheism, and legal code. So once we get aristocracy, rhetoric, and sovereignty, we'll be at 7, which is great since we went and got citizenship. We'll also pick up stirrups when we see it. We definitely need more iron. Yeah. Should be in good shape here to get to 7 laws. This is well on its way to be able to pull out cataphract archers. Got a decent road network. Need to connect a little bit more here, but pretty much everything's connected. We're really abusing the rivers here. This is going to, I think, connect here. Might have to check connection to Tuss as well. Maybe might need one tile of road there. We'll see. Anshan also needs connection. I think right now we're just getting food. Here we're clearing this out. Sort of leaving these behind as to hold the sites. Want to clear out this Vandal. Need to scout this. Probably we'll send this scout north here. See what's going on. This other scout will go east, and that north scout will scout the north. Yeah, so he's weaker and competent, so he's keeping up with tech. I presume he's got an inquiry pump running somewhere. Not entirely sure where. 22 culture return in his patron seat, 15 in his capital. I think we're at 40 culture return in Parsa, so well on our way there. Not sure what wonders we want to go after next. We do have a good amount of stone, and we are now a judge, so we are abusing Holt Court as much as possible. So that's definitely something to consider. Colossus would be nice, but requires coastal water, and I don't think I have any strong coastal water sites. This does not count. Museum does give me a lot of science in a single city, so maybe Mausoleum. New units start with guard. Could be an option out of this city. No other real wonders strike me as particularly useful. We do want to get rhetoric and build forums everywhere to get extra orders as well. So we'll probably be doing that soon as well, just to get everything up and running. Definitely need a couple more settlers, but we're well on our way. He's keeping pace at 9 cities. We're at 10, so things are going well. His leader is a scholar, and it looks like his heir is going to be a 13-year-old. Unclear exactly what she will be. So the scholar, intelligent, eloquent, gracious. Sure, he's pounding out those inquiries. We don't quite have something so favored. I think we will imprison the insane guy in case we need to. He's currently just governing this city here, and we have a governor here ourselves, so that we'll keep buying specialists. I think we want to get to 500 specialists. I think we're going to hard build a master monk here with another judge governor, and so we'll get two elder officers there, an elder monk here. I think we already have an elder monk here. Yeah, so we'll think maybe one more here or something to get to that 5 specialists. Definitely need to get scouting here. Lots. It's a big map. We found the north part of the map. We just need to keep scouting a bit. But yeah, second ruler. He is 55, so he's probably not going to last that long. It's part of the reason I want to skip down to his son. Unfortunately, do not have anyone to tutor with, but hopefully Hold Court will come through with some sort of courtiers. That's one of the nice things that they changed to Hold Court a while ago. So that's where we are, turn 60. There's been no conflict with Frederick yet. We've got some troops on their way here. Scouts just chilling. Should be able to clean up these Numidians here nicely. I don't know. This might be their last site, or we just might not have scouted more sites. Similarly, Vandals, we see 2 sites, but that number does not count the other sites that are there. Yeah, so trying to get this city up and running to pump out decrees, especially since we can buy orders with judges now, so you can buy decrees, which is really nice actually. So yeah, feeling pretty decent. Little worried about tech. I had an advantage thanks to the monotheism start. It looks like Frederick's caught up. He's competent now, which means he's actually out teching me because I just got that free tech at the start. So we'll keep pushing, and we'll see what things look like in about 10 turns or so.
Turn 60. Another situation report from the duel against alcaras. Things aren't turning out so well for me, I think. Alcaraz got to strong culture way before me. This means he built the Acropolis. He not only did he start to build it, he already also finished it, because his first leader who was a builder stuck around just long enough to get the Acropolis finished by hurrying it along with multiple workers. He also enacted legal code very recently, so he's now on 4 laws. But he has both legal code and monotheism, so he has 2 texts that are fairly deep, but we managed to get him down to competent, so we are catching up, it looks like. And since he has 2 texts this deep, I'm guessing that he has very little of the bottom side of the tech tree. I myself picked up metaphysics. Initially, I thought I need to pick up portcullis and cartography to catch up, but since we're already on competent, I think this would be overkill. And since he's grabbed the Acropolis, we are kind of in a bind when the game goes on long enough, since he will have way more orders than I will. Between Persia, his statesmen, his clerics, if he gets if he starts building temples, this will also be a lot of orders for him. If he picks up doctrine, so I initially I thought I needed to go broader in the tech tree, like cartography and portcullis and citizenship and everything to boost my science just to catch up with him. But since I'm on a decent trajectory on catching up, I think I'm going relatively straight down to longbows and try to hit a timing with my tier 2 unique unit and longbows. Hopefully before he has cataphract archers, but even if he has cataphract archers, his infantry should still be behind strength 8, so overall I should have still the stronger army. The big problem with that is both longbows as well as my unique unit costs ton of wood, so I need to get lumber mills up, which is exactly what I'm doing, concentrating workers in this city with a builder to get all these river lumber mills down, as well as some more culture, or eventually the city is also supposed to build our unique unit eventually, but culture is also still an issue. Even here, we're still 19 turns away. But we only just begun building our tier 1 unique unit, so at least those are coming along and should help us clear up some of these tribes. In the midterm, we're probably looking to get peace, not just truce, but peace with the Gauls, just so they leave me alone. And the other issue is, if I want to make use of this timing, I need to get to him, and with the distances being as big as they are, this is going to be an issue too. So I already settled down here, which in hindsight was kind of a mistake. I need to prioritize settling along the lake to get a coastal movement, or on some stretches of coast where I can't get my borders around, I need to park a bireme or anchor a bireme so I can get my troops to the front line. In the north it is even more difficult, because here's a big stretch of coast with no city, and here's also big stretches of coast with no city. Also, he didn't expand up here initially, and while I saw some spearmen of his march through and clear this camp, I expect most of his cities in the south, maybe even along the coast, especially since he has founded hunters, which we don't see any city of his. We can see that there is his current ruler is in a hunter city, so we know he has hunters. One of the problems or issues with going this kind of tech path without portcullis is that information is very, very sparse. I know almost nothing about him. Usually a spy or two in any city or a few select cities will reveal most of his research path and what he has is available to him, but with no portcullis this cannot happen. So despite building the oracle and getting a spy network in his capital, I will not be able to get any information out of that. As far as characters go, his builder recently died. He now has a old judge, which is slothful, which should slow his military build-up a bit. He's still counting as stronger, but he has been running around with spearmen for far longer, and I'm still having lots of warriors. I only just started upgrading some of them to spearmen, which hopefully will also bring my strength up. But also, don't know, like His current ruler is old, like 55. He shouldn't stick around for very long. He still has the insane brother, but also a hero son, but that is, he could legitimize if he really needed to. But also the brother has a son that's 14, currently politics student, so he's probably waiting and looking what he can get here. I myself looking to get an orator. I need to make up for the order difference somehow, and I'm expecting the next leader to be around for when our armies clash. Made her into him into a commerce student, because commerce students can also become orators, and politics was reserved for the primary heir. In the meantime, we also got a daughter just this turn, so another chance to grab an orator, and politics will be free to go once she reaches the age of 10. Hoping for the best. We already got Brave, a general type trait on her, so she is on the trajectory for a fighting leader. Hopefully we can get an orator or a hero out of her, and then we're looking in good shape. We also picked up a ambition for Necropolis. We still have enough stone to put it down. The Civics 2. Probably in 3 turns when this worker finishes. This will pump up the culture in here even more. I mean, we're going to reach strong way before that, but if the game ever goes longer past the clash of armies into the late game with cataphracts and for me pikemen, I guess, after longbows, then we'll need to think of some other things, picking up the Circus Maximus for example, and so boosting the culture in this city, hoping to catch up to him having strong culture. That'll be a tough ask, but we'll see. In the meantime, we're looking to build slingers, lots of slingers, which we're then looking to upgrade into longbows. So we are trying to stockpile lots of wood, lots of training, keeping the steel not researched, and maybe researching it after Bodkin Arrow, and then pick up the training boost, so I can shortly after get another set of training to upgrade troops, since between upgrading our unique units and upgrading longbows, I will be spending a lot of training and a lot of wood. I also need to get a bit more iron up. We're looking to build some spearmen as well as the barracks consuming iron. Some more food probably too for a unique unit. Stone, we're probably saturated pretty well for now. And that concludes the situation report from turn 16. See you later.